Hello, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Let's get the party started. Randy Rodet, you are right. Now, guys, I've got a couple of things to say before we do get started. Bear in mind, get any questions in today that you do want. It's good to see Mr. Mark Slorence. Long time no see. You've went real off radar, Mr. Slorence. Hope you're all good. Ken Green, Josie Claudio. But what I did notice prior to coming on here is one stupid person has already disliked the video, guys. It's what it is what it is, but make sure that you do give us a like and a comment just to combat these horrible people that don't even watch the video. They don't even know they don't like it yet, and they say they don't like it. So yeah, it is what it is. Fern Kane's here as well. Hello, Fern.
They were here first.
Yes.
They were here first, Craig, which is amazing.
Karthik's here. But just so you guys know, prior to answering any of your questions, we are doing a little bit of an extra tonight over on Chris's channel right after this show, which will give you more information at the end of the webinar. I'm going to be roasting. So Chris bought an affiliate website, and while he was looking at that website, he came and asked my opinion on it and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is review the website live on here, and I'll give good honest feedback on it. I didn't particularly advise Chris to buy the website at the time. I said it was pretty much a piece of garbage, and he still went ahead and bought it, which is fine. Everyone can still make money on it. But if you want to see why that was a piece of garbage, at 6 o'clock, directly after this webinar, we will be hopping over to Chris's channel, and we will be roasting that and just going over some of the stuff that I didn't personally like on the website, and that's the reason why I said what I said to Chris. But regardless of what I said, he still went ahead and bought it, so I couldn't have been that cutting when it comes to the website. So we will go and have a look at that at 6 o'clock. But more on to what is happening now, while everyone's now starting to tumble in. We have Javed Hakimi, Mr. Mullins, Karthik, and also let me ask good questions, Javed. Always good questions, welcome. But one thing, I was on a webinar yesterday with Mike and Brad, and it did transpire that there was a couple of guys that were potentially not up for asking questions. Maybe they felt as if it was going to make them look stupid or whatever. No such thing as a stupid question, guys. Ask. That's why we're here. That's why we do these. So
just my answers.
Yeah.
No stupid questions, only stupid answers.
Craig Parker is here, but what we're going to do is just go right into the questions, guys. Cool. Try and get as many of them answered as we can today. If you do have a question, do it. And as I say, please do smash the like button, as Hayden Cox says. These handsome gentlemen just want to help you guys out. That is exactly what it's all about. You guys are amazing. Be the mountain which cannot be moved by a small gust of wind, guys. Exactly. We ain't going to be moved. We ain't going to be moved. Rather, it's just needles away when someone dislikes something that's not even live yet. So, never mind.
They were here first, though. It's every video. Like, come on, and you know it's. Oh man, it's just they're your biggest fan or my fan. They could be both of our fans. They're like, oh, these guys, oh, man, I'm going to get them. Want to really get me? Send me a check.
So who said that there? Who was it? It was Shari. Nice to see you both. Chris, always full of energy and happiness. Oh, yeah. That's what I love about Chris. It's the energy and something else. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to say the name of it is, but he's crazy. Anyway, Javed Hakimi, when it comes to doing local SEO, how much do you guys weigh in on the business name in GMB, and what are some other things you might weigh more on the than the GMB name? So, Chris, what is your theory on that?
Well, I think that there's two ways to really look at that. I mean, when we're thinking about name, we have to take into consideration, are we trying to expand out of our primary location, right? Are we building a brand? Because then the name really matters. So it's irrelevant what the name is, because then we're going to build brand equity, because that's what we're after. As we build the brand equity, then we start ranking more and more. Then it's easier to move in the locations. So that's generally the way I would go. Whatever my name is, this is my name, and that's how I spread it across everything. Instead of keyword stuff in it, maybe get a quick win, and then, and then somebody tells on you. So stick with your name and just do it the right way, and I think you'll see a lot better success.
I think also, just referring back to yesterday's webinar, I think it was Brad who said, you can, if you're going to do spammy GMBs and you want that short-term lead generation win, by all means, keyword stuff the shit out of it, but you will eventually get banned for that. So, as Chris says, keep it loose and build up other things that give you more weight, such as traffic, such as potentially some links to the CID URL. Traffic and engagement on your GMB is the big thing. I can't emphasize enough of, people are saying, what weighs more? Is it the GMB name or is it something else? Listen, traffic is the big thing. Traffic and engagement. Do not mark my words on this. There's Ryan Durrani, who sometimes watches this, and he's probably going to watch it today. Done it with his father's driving lesson website and said, I can't believe that I've just, within days jumped in to the map pack for a real competitive search term. So believe me, there's no special stuff to this. Really that simple.
That's right.
Jay Satlane, please, could I get some tips on the method of generating traffic with respect to URLs using a button for the GMB CID and keywords? Chris,
I think that you're really overthinking it, right? When we're thinking about traffic, and I just covered this, what traffic do I need to be sending? It's not just send it through this link, send it to this page, send it from a brand term. Go to your competition. They're top ranking pages. Those top ranking pages are not only bringing in traffic for the main keyword. What other keywords are they ranking for? That means they're bringing in traffic for those keywords. That means you need to be bringing in traffic for those keywords. So figure out what the top rankers are getting, figure about 1 or 2%, and then send that amount. So it's usually 1, 2, 3 clicks per keyword. And then that's where you send your traffic. You can do a lot of other fancy stuff, but it's just not necessary. See what traffic your competition's getting? Send it in. It's as easy as that, my friend.
Jay's also saying, where would you place this button and how would you try and configure the URL? Send it to the CID URL. Send it to the bigger URL if you like. You don't always have to use the CID URL. It's sending traffic to your GMB. It's relatively simple. There's no button placing. It's not a landing page you're creating your website to send traffic to your own GMB. This is traffic from Gumtree or Facebook ads or microworkers or anywhere else you can get good local. What you want with GMBs is local traffic, local people on your website. And that's where I think Facebook ads and stuff like that stand out a mile, because you can really become laser targeted with that. And also one little thing I want to add here, the boy I mentioned earlier, Ryan Durrani, he done it for 3 days, took his ads away, and boom, he's gone again. Now, you need to do this over a prolonged period of time. You also need to be making sure that your GMB is filled out properly and you've done everything else. The traffic thing is just the icing in the cake, but do everything else. Pad it out. Make sure that you are getting your customers on there and everything else. And hopefully, if you do the traffic thing for 2 weeks or a month even, then it should stick. But it's not something you can instantly just throw up for 3 days and then pull your budget and hope for the best, because it will jump down as quick as it went up. So I thought I'd add that in as well, just in case anyone, we don't always. I know that it has to be done for a month, but it's often when we're talking about it, we don't say that's the case. But yeah, I thought I'd do that.
And don't go to the target term. It's getting 1,400 visits a month. That's not how many searches you need. That's not how many clicks you need. Look at the competition, see how they're getting their traffic, and then think, hey, what should mine be getting? Maybe go to the fourth page, see how many clicks they're getting. Like, you really need to think about it, because if you start sending 500, 600 visits, now that's the new threshold for that term. So you have to keep sending that in. That's why the bot traffic doesn't work as good as it used to. So,
yeah.
All right. I just wanted to, I think people we want to get them on the right track. You know what I mean, Craig?
Yeah. Always keep them on the right track and give them the right feedback. Good to see you, Mark. Hope all is well with yourself. Randy Rodet, Brad mentioned yesterday creating a power page for his GMBs. Can you talk further about that? Is the page a standalone site? So, Randy, I know you asked several times yesterday for confirmation on the power page. So I want to make one thing clear. A power page is not a standalone website. It is not the case. So a power page or a landing page, call it what you will, it's just a page in your website. If you want to rank well for, I don't know, digital marketing Ohio or something like that, then you're going to have a page in your website that says that you're digital marketing in Ohio and you've got your map embedded on there and stuff like that. That's what a power page is. He has a different page for every location that he has, and it's it is what it is. It's just a simple page that says that they offer this service there. The map's embedded on there, and that is it. It's as simple as that. There's nothing special to that particular method. And if you don't have that location page on there, are you going to pull through? You need to have a page in your website if you want to. The mention of power page and GMBs are two different things. You can rank a GMB without even having a website. That is a fact. But what they do is best practice is have landing pages for every page with their map embedded on there. It's not one page with 5 locations on it. It's a location per page saying, we've got an office in Ohio, we do digital marketing, blah, 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 and here's some of the services, an internal link to the rest of their website. That's what they mean by that. So not a standalone site, just a simple landing page on the website. Hopefully that clears that up for you. You get anything to add to that, Chris?
No, I mean, I think it's good to go. Power page is just a power page, man.
Just a page, even a page. That's the thing. Everyone's got different crazy names for it, and they use these names to make it sound better than what. Like, I might use power page because Chris is calling it a page, and my page sounds better than Chris's now because I've said that. So it's all bullshit.
A long-form content page is what you're after, targeting the keywords for a primary keyword. And then you go in depth about it. Power page.
Keith Parker, question about Google My Maps. Is it worth populating out my maps with links to my website location pages, even though they are no follow links? You seen any benefit from that, Chris?
No. I think that one is going to be useful, because if you take a look at the source code, they're pulling in from your drive. You'll see it at the very top. It's in the source code. It's called Google Picker. So it's built into the source code. They're pulling it. So everything within that is being seen or crawled. So I think that one to help, connect the dots could be very helpful. But, you see these guys on Fiverr, $20, 5,300 pins and all this extra stuff. Unnecessary.
Yeah, I think that's overkill. But what you're saying, Chris, in terms of joining the dots, if you can put your landing pages on Google My Maps, whether it's no follow, and this is the point I want to make clear, whether it's no follow or not doesn't mean there's no benefit at all. And for Google to understand what you're doing and all the areas you target, that's a perfectly good way to do that. So forget about the link juice for a minute and ask yourself, is that going to be beneficial to show Google that I only don't do this particular area, but I do these 10 other surrounding areas. So, yeah, that's what you want to do. Hello, Mr. Tommy Butler, enjoying this. G. Satlane, thank you both. Thank you, Shari, for your kind donation, and hope you enjoy your session tomorrow with Mr. Palmer. I'm sure it will be enlightening. Umar Farouk, hi, I'm getting bot traffic from a few different countries on my affiliate site. Would this affect badly in any way, or should I ignore it? It started once I ranked number 1 for a keyword.
I wouldn't I wouldn't be concerned with it unless it's massive amounts and or coming in spikes. Also, if you're starting to see spikes in traffic, take a look in your logs and take a look at your images. Make sure that there's nothing funky going on. But no, I wouldn't be concerned unless it's huge spikes, you know?
Yeah. And it's also coincidental that you've seen, well, not coincidental, but you've seen it once you start getting to number 1. Someone might just be trying some shady shit to derail you. But to be fair, in terms of traffic, you know, even though we talk about CTR and whatnot, Google's relatively clever at filtering out crappy bot traffic. So I wouldn't imagine anyone's going to some serious length to harm you with bad traffic, because it's hard enough trying to do click-through rate manipulation to benefit your own website, and there's a fairly substantial cost to doing that. So to do it in a negative way, I mean, I would imagine they're going to be using some crappy bot, and I would not worry about it the slightest. Google will probably just bin it and take absolutely no notice. But as Chris says, keep an eye on it, and you know, hopefully it's all good.
Yep.
G-Man D, what's up, Chris and Craig? Hello, G-Man D.
What's up, brother?
Kim Robinson, not seen you for a few weeks, Kim. Hope all is well over in, I think, is it Australia you are, or New Zealand? I think it is. G.
And ladies are far and few. Do you ever check your analytics? I only got like 2%. I'm like, what? There's no girls in SEO. What's going on here? You know what I mean? So that's a gem. Her and Sherry, you know, that's probably it. You know, there's not many, man. It's interesting, really.
So Jay is asking, have you ever tried adding affiliate links to a GMB instead, or creating a one-page website and AdSense that any experience is much appreciated? So I'm going to kick this one off. If you watch a video from me, if you go to YouTube and put in search Norwich Craig Campbell SEO, watch a video on there. I had quite a cool story where I done something slightly naughty, just for testing reasons. But I used to insert an affiliate code into hotels' GMBs to make sure I got the credit for the bookings. There's a story behind that, but you can watch it on the Search Norwich thing. I don't want to bore you to tears, but it worked.
That's what made me reach out to Craig. I saw that. I was like, hey, I got to talk to this guy.
So yes, that stuff can work. Obviously, I'm not going to condone doing what I done.
Of course not.
Of course not. No. I was only doing that for testing reasons, because the Black Hat thing was good and see if you could do some badass stuff, and I just wanted to see if it worked. And, of course
I didn't. I didn't make any money either.
I didn't make any money from it, but it worked very well. And so there you go. Kazi Farhan was wondering which AMP plugin do you both suggest as a better choice to use. I'm using Yoast for an SEO guideline for my keyword density and linking out and in. Really need some advice on AMP. I would throw AMP in the bin. Don't use it. Who the hell uses AMP? What the hell have you been reading, Kazi? Is this some book from 2017? AMP's been and gone. It's only really beneficial for news websites. But, Chris, what are you saying?
I was playing around with it because I saw Patel's stuff was on AMP, right? So that's what made me start looking like, hey, he's using it. It must be good. But no. I didn't find any joy in it. I didn't see any increase in it on any of the sites I was playing around with it on. Yes, speed was good. And then as far as the Yoast deal and keyword densities, I'd really be looking at more of a, if it's something you're really interested in, and it's something that means a lot to you, then it's worth the investment. $1 a run for Page Optimizer Pro, perfectly fine. Or if it's something more long-term, I'd move over to maybe see Surfer. Or if you really want to get insane, then maybe Quora or Quora Lite. But I would be looking at something like that for those on-page factors.
Yeah, Yoast, while it's the great plugin and does a grand job, it's not scraping and giving you the level of detail that some of the other tools that Chris just mentioned. And that is what you want. You know, you want an idea of how much content you should be writing and stuff like that. And also these tools give you, suggested keywords and all that stuff, so that you can be using LSI-wise and stuff like that. So they're much better for on-page SEO than Yoast. And as I said, AMP has been and gone. I never used it. News websites benefit from it. There's probably some benefits. So unless you're a news website, I would ignore it.
Let me add one more thing though. But and we're not saying that, hey, if you're just starting out, a SEO plugin can be a good idea. SEO Pressed. I don't really like Yoast. I'm more lean towards all-in-one because it takes care of some of the easy stuff. You're able to, take care of the title and the meta description, add keywords. You're able to put in the OG data really quickly. You're able to put in, the stuff like breadcrumbs. It's just fast and easy. So it's a good idea to use it for that, but it's a bad idea to use it for recommendations for on-page SEO. So hopefully that clears it up.
It sure does. Randy Roday, that's great. Thanks. I think the term threw me. I call these pages location pages.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the terminology. I get that as well. I think someone actually asked us a question on yesterday's webinar as well, and Brad's like, "What?" I think Brad didn't even know what a power page was. He's like, "What the hell?"
That's a Brian Dean term.
I think it was Nick's Lee that was throwing the term power pages about, actually. So let's blame Nick's. He's not here, so
That's
to hell with you, Nick's. It's your fault. So, Ashton Lobo, if I do a 301 redirect for 5 expired domains to my money site directly, could that result in a penalty? Chris, do you want to answer that?
Well, I would be very cautious about redirecting websites. Do I think that 5 will give you a penalty? Probably not. I've done more. However, I would be very, very cautious about what you're, 301ing everything right to your site or an internal page or whatever you're doing. Be very, very cautious. But no, you're not going to get a penalty. And the best way to find out is just do it and see what happens. That's usually what I do. Hey, let's see what happens here. But if it's something you care about, I would be very cautious.
So to add to that, Ashton, Chris is bang on the money. But if you're going to buy 5 domains, don't do them all at once. The process that I use when it comes to doing a 301 redirect might be different for a lot of different people. I put a copy of the website up on WordPress, on some basic theme, let the old URLs and everything kick in, grabbing as much info as I can from the Wayback Machine, while still be blasting some Web 2.0s and stuff like that to build that expired domain up. If the rankings recover, then I'll 301 redirect it to my website. If those rankings don't recover and that website is just simply not liked by Google for one reason or another, I'll throw it in the bin. So that's my process before I would redirect it to my website, because I want to make sure that I'm not redirecting some toxic, horrible website over to my website. Absolutely no chance. So that is my process in a nutshell. Take it or leave it. But as Chris says, try it out, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? You just remove them. So easy peasy.
Oh, that changed automatically. That's interesting.
Yeah. See, you're back.
I'm playing with it like, hey, what's this do?
Thank you, Paul. Good to see you here. There's always good info being shared. I love an experienced guy like Paul who can read between the lines and understand that there is actually info being shared here. So thank you very much, Paul, and hope all is well with you. Craig Parker, thank you. Michael, good to see you here again, mate. Hope all is well. G-Man D, if I post a product to GMB, what is the best button to use, i.e. link to website to order online, buy, learn more, get offer? Are there any advantages over each other? Where would you send people, Chris?
I'd be using learn more because it's a do follow. But aside from that, that's generally what I do because it's a do, you know, so that'd be the place I'd be looking.
Interesting. I'm not going to argue with that. The only thing is, if you're doing it from a link building perspective, what Chris is saying is fine. If it's simply just to hurry along the process, just take them straight to where they can order. There's no point in giving them any more clicks than they need. If there's an offer, by all means, give them the offer. Right. So you could potentially add any of those, but for me, as a UX thing, just our user experience thing, send them straight there. But if it's a learn more and it's a do follow link, I'm sure that will give you some little smidgen of a boost in the right direction, which is not going to harm you. So also a great option. Kim Robinson, gotcha. So it is Australia. Brent Talent, 95% of clicks on my GM page are coming from a word in my business name that has nothing to do with my actual business. Suggestions? Have you ever come across that and you've had to change stuff, Chris?
Well, generally, if I'm starting to see a lot of traffic, I don't like the part where it has nothing to do with my business, but generally at that point, then I would add it somewhere on the website, even just if it's sprinkled in there somewhere. Because if I'm getting traffic from it, but it's odd that there's nothing. Generally, there's weird stuff, but not in significant amounts that I've seen, So that's kind of strange. I'd be looking to see where that came from, but no, I mean, hey, traffic's traffic. Take it as you will.
Yeah. Take as much as you can, but in my experience, if you're being found for something that's got nothing to do with your business and it's getting people away there, you're going to have to try and change that up and deal with the problem as well. If it's having a negative impact and you're just answering the phone to people who really don't want anything to do with your business, then I would be changing stuff up and figuring out a better way to do that. And just, I know it may impact your GMB in the short term, but GMBs are relatively easy to rank well. So I would tackle the problem head on if it's causing problems. If not, then traffic's traffic. I wouldn't bother my backside. If it's keeping you in that top position, even people who are searching for stuff. But 95% of your clicks coming from the wrong type of person is quite a high ratio. So I'm going to guess that you're going to have to deal with it and take some action. So jump ahead and do that. And talking of jumping, we've got jumping animals. Any suggestions for a multi-page builder for locations on WordPress, please?
I think you were playing with a builder, right? Because usually, I mean, if we're building out something, it's literally the same page and we're just changing very small amounts of information. It's generally by hand, Weren't you playing with a tool that was super cool? I forget.
SERPshaker does it. So SERPshaker does it. There's a few other tools out there that do it as well. And they do exactly what Chris says. They're going to use the same content and change the locations and stuff like that. Now, just bear in mind that stuff doesn't work for really competitive areas. That is if you're going to blanket the whole south coast of America, for example, you're going to get a whole bunch of areas just by sheer default because there's little to no competition. It's not best practice to do that, but I think you can counter that with just using cheap content writers and actually doing it properly and doing less pages. You don't need to do it in such a massive scale, and it will work better for you. But SERPshaker is the one that most people are using just now. That is fully functional and working well. There was another tool And the reason I'm diving away from that, Chris, is not to be evasive, but the tool that I was playing with, it does all that kind of stuff. It's posting them on subdomains, which I don't like, because obviously a subdomain is seen as a separate URL, and we've not quite got that fixed. So until that actually resolves or gets a fix where that can be, the spinning and the automation of the content can be placed on a location page, then it's not an effective tool as far as I'm concerned. So
makes sense.
Hence why I'm being evasive with that one, not for any other reason. So once that does work well, I'll be the first one to shout from the hilltops about it. But Ashish Ratan, I have a website in German. I was able to rank a few keywords on 7-8 positions. Content I got was using Google Translate. I'm using an expired domain. How can I push the keywords to the top 3?
Well, if you're in 7 or 8, then really that means your on page should be on point. So you need to be looking at either links or a way to start getting some clicks to the page, within the SERP for those particular keywords and secondary keywords. And that will certainly get you to the promised land. So links and clicks, you'll see those higher positions.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can really add to that. Links and clicks is what I would be doing. If you think your content's not really on point for whatever reason, use something like Chris said earlier, Surfer, POP, Cora, one of those tools, and further tweak your content. But if you've got to the top, if you're on page 1, it should be of a reasonable standard, and it goes beyond on page. You do need those links, and you do need that traffic and engagement. So good luck with it. Jumping animals again. I'd manually built a bunch of Web 2.0s, and I have some press releases. If I now try to use SEO Autopilot, will it screw things up? Because Autopilot would create brand new branded Web 2.0s and blast them.
Yeah, see, that's I don't want to touch on it. It's that's the issue with these tools. They're building brand new pages. Where's the power? Yeah. And where's the traffic? What you know what I mean? You need more traffic and power behind it. You can't build, if I could go build 1,000 brand new WordPress sites and link them over, and there's no authority, but hey, I think there's other link types. I don't know, I never used it, so I couldn't really touch on that.
I think what these tools do is automate a lot of garbage processes, like building brand new Web 2.0s. If the ability to do anything in this industry can be done manually, it's going to do a better job, put it that way. Automation, no one wants to be sitting manually building Web 2.0s. It's tedious. It's just horrendous. So listen, it's up to you. If you can do it manually, you will get better results. I do use SEO Autopilot, and I can continue to use the Web 2.0s, and I can blast the Web 2.0s and build those assets up over a prolonged period of time. But if you're just going to go out there and you've already built stuff, and you're going to build more stuff that has, no traffic, no power, no nothing, it's going to be a slow burner, put it that way. So that hopefully that answers your question. Chris, you're looking up to the sky there. What is dropping?
Well, I own this. I own a quadplex here, and I hear the. I just hear them. I just hear them. I'm like, what's going on up there?
I'm just like, is there something going to fucking jump through
my
the roof?
office is downstairs, and I rent this one. And my wife and I live on this side. We have the top and bottom is for us.
Right.
So it's like, what are you doing up there?
What the hell? Hopefully they're not having sex or something like that.
No, nothing good. No. I would have ran off. No.
But guys, just make sure you do give us a like and subscribe to the channel. More likes, the better. But yes, Keep your questions coming as well.
Yeah.
We are going
Give
through
us
them.
some zingers. I need a zinger. I need something like a stumper, like, like
Someone give them something, knock them off the perch, give them something to think about, trip them up, whatever. But Kim Robinson is asking, tell me the trick to adding a GMB property to someone's online store. She has moved out of her home and now has no physical address.
Well, with the addresses, they have to be able to get mail somewhere for a business, right? There has to be something on file somewhere. So that's generally the address that I would, utilize, whether it's a PO box, whatever the case is. Because I know for verifications, if you're doing BS, the PO boxes don't work. But if you're a legitimate business with a legitimate PO box, this is where I get my mail. This is, where my business is. It's not a problem. So I would utilize that.
She's also added to that, like, she wants to use her old address where the boyfriend still lives in another state for the GMB, not sure what to do. I mean, does it really matter? Because if you're selling online stuff, for me, this is just for me, Kim, I wouldn't give a toss. I would just leave it as it is, because it's an online store. Who comes to visit your shop? Like, realistically, and if some schmuck does, it's one guy that's crazy. I've just make it clear on the GMB that you order online. I've got loads and loads and loads of GMBs out there where I'm not even physically, able to get a postcard to. I've done some hooky stuff in GMBs and drag pins to other locations, and then I'm stuck with it. But the purpose of it is to rank in that location. Now, if the problem is you want a second one, by all means, you can have a second GMB in the new state and use the boyfriend's address as well. I wouldn't be turning down any traffic, but I'd also be taking advantage of that old one. If it still ranks and it brings in any kind of traffic, leave it be. That's my opinion. But that's my 2 cents worth.
I like that. Leave it. Yeah, unless there's an issue with the BF, and you have no choice. But
I would still leave it. To hell with them.
Yeah, what mail are you getting there? Nothing,
So I've just
listings.
Scrolled down too quick. Right. So Stephen Stewart. Hi, Craig and Chris. Lots of knowledge here. Learning a lot. Hope you are. So obviously my knowledge is better than Chris's. Is that right, Stephen?
You were listening first there.
I'm only kidding. Stephen's a local guy over my way, so I'm only having a laugh. I'm sure everyone loves us equally. We both give a lot away in the reality of things. David Holgate. Hi, Craig, and so fucking hell, Superman. Is this what we're calling him now? Jesus.
I like Superman.
David, come on. Please don't humor this guy.
He's about to review my site. Take it easy.
Have you guys ever thought of providing some of your service on a freelance marketplace like Legit? I would 100% purchase a GMB traffic engagement gig. I'm sure you would, David. For me personally, I mean, I've been there, done the client work and done the agency thing, and it sucks fucking ass. Not that you suck ass, by the way, but that's the lowest form of making money. There's a lot of easier money now, and without being arrogant or obnoxious or anything like that, I wouldn't even waste my time listing on Legit or doing a gig like that. It's just horrendous because you would get volume, you would make a lot of money, but you're going to have people then tearing your shit apart. Oh, your CTR didn't work properly, Chris. What's happening? And you just get a whole lot of shit, and then you start fighting with people, and then they start bad-mouthing you, and the whole thing breaks down. And not for me, but what about you, Chris? Do you ever sell anything like that, or would you ever sell anything like that?
I have tons. Fiverr, Upwork, Black Hat World. We still have accounts open, but the problem is when you start becoming public and you're offering, when you're selling on those platforms, it's a race to the bottom. So I think that there's a difference between what you're selling there and what you want to associate with your brand. So I still probably do, just not under Chris Palmer SEO. You know,
So he still does. So David, I'm sure if you,
I don't
we
do
can
not
trust you. But yeah, slip Chris a message. Even send him a nice bottle of vodka or something, and schmooze him and see if he'll sort you out. He's open to bribery and corruption.
Yeah, I'm open to, you know, I mean, if you need a setup or something along those lines, I have one scheduled with somebody. I mean, I'd be more than happy to offer you my time, and walk through, you know, message me on Facebook Messenger, and
yes.
we'll take care of it. But don't lead with, hey. Always, if you're going to message me, write exactly what you want, because when I see, hey, I just go to the next one, you know, people get upset with me. You know? Say, hey, I saw you on YouTube. Here's my question, you know? So
yeah, just say, yo, give me this.
I just see yo or hey or what's up? I'm like, I'm doing good. Next. You know?
Yeah. It's a lot of smooth talkers on that Facebook, and people try to sell you garbage, but it's not good. Not good.
Tell me the stuff that you know what I mean? Like I already got that list. You know what I mean? Jeez.
Yeah.
Fun though. I love it. That's why I love SEO.
Anyway, we have 17 minutes left. It's going really fast. Bloody hell. Andrew Powell, though, is asking, what tools do you guys use to build out your article content plan? 4 to 8 keyword titles. What are you using, Chris?
I use well, for my site, I write this stuff out, which I only have 2 articles on my website. And I'm horrible at writing. It takes me forever. With that being said, if somebody else, we use something that's called Article Sparrow, right? And he does it all for us, you know, and then when we bring it in, we then optimize it. So, cause it's dirt cheap, it's original, it passes Copyscape, and then we optimize, and then Eric takes care of everything else. I don't deal with the stuff. So that's what we do. You know, we outsource it super cheap, bring it in, optimize it, and then he deals with the clients. So
yeah. I mean, I've got someone who looks after that for me and does all the research and everything, but there's no tools or anything like that as such to build out the plan. And what we'll do is research the competition and say, right, for the next 2 months, Matthew Woodward, Diggity, and all of the top guys are all writing articles based around these topics. So let's see what we can get from that, or they're showcasing these tools or whatever it's going to be. And I would normally always say do a 3-month content plan. Try and get 2 or 3 months. You know, get your content writer so that they can churn that stuff out and they're researching it, and it gets faster and faster and faster, and then move on to something else. But as I say, there might only be a month's worth of content that you can write, but it depends on how many content writers you've got and stuff like that. But no tools, just all done, you know, research, put on a spreadsheet, and off the pop and do it. So I just say, yeah, that's what I like, and they go and do it. So hopefully that helps you.
You plan it out for 3 months?
Not always 3 months, but I think anyone with when I say 3 months, we'll probably analyze certain, you know, if it's going to be for my own personal website, we'll look and see what's trending. We'll look at, you know, what's going on, what the gaps are and stuff like that. And we will come up with a plan for at least 2 months minimum and say, right, for the next 2 months, I want more of this, this, and this. Now, it might be 2 or 3 different angles, but, you know, there is a plan of action of what's going to happen for the next couple of months. Just waking up every day going, oh, today I'm going to write about affiliate marketing, you know, or, you know, clutching at straws. You know, I think just planning it out.
What do you do, one a week? And then is that generally bi-weekly?
Mine's are done about 4 times a week, and 4 articles going out a week. So I try, because I'll tell you why I've got 4 going out a week. I was talking to a friend of mine who's very well known in India, Harsh Agarwal. And so he's based over in India. He owns shoutmeloud.com, well-known blog, you know, digital marketing blogger. So I'm sitting talking to him in Milan, and we were drunk, and we were having this debate, you know, everyone's here to see me. And he's like, no, everyone's here to see me. And we were just having a bit of a laugh. and and we were just talking, and I'm like, my site's better than your site, and all of that shit. So we were both having just these stupid little, as you do, debates when you're having a few drinks. And I actually went to look at his website. So I had something like 250 blog posts, which I thought was a reasonable amount. And I looked at his sitemap and realized it had 2,500.
Wow.
And I'm like, fuck. Get your finger out, Craig, because he is covering everything, every tool, every angle, everything. And that's what I want to be. So I want to beat him. And you've got to, 1 a week's just not good enough, to be honest. If you want that sheer volume and to be the best, then you just have to get your finger out and your money and your wallet and everything else out and and go for it. So, yeah.
Interesting.
That's why. But
when you're talking affiliate, not like on a local, we found like once a week seems to be pretty good,
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever's relevant to your niche. Like if you're a local builder, it's impossible for you to churn out 4 a week. You'd run out of areas if you're covering a 40-mile radius. So do what is relevant for your business, to be honest. But I could write, SEO, digital marketing, and all that stuff. We could write thousands of stuff. So it's just that's the niche we're in, sadly. But there you go. Or sadly, in some reasons, for that kind of reason. But hey ho. Craig Parker's asking, what is a good tool to track your GMB rankings? What do you use to check your local stuff?
We use Insight and Botsoul. Botsoul, that's it. I mean, that's it. So we do.
Yeah, there's some good old ones. AccuRanker do reasonably well with the GMBs. But also an old one, Pro Rank Tracker, apparently does really well. I was talking to someone the other day about it, and he said Pro Rank Tracker, and I'm like, fuck, I've not used Pro Rank Tracker from God knows, 10 years ago or something. And apparently that is, a genius at it. So have a look at that as well. But yeah, there you go. We've got 11 minutes left, guys. Make sure you do give us a like, and we will try and blast through. We're at 5:30 in terms of the questions, so we will try and blast through as much as we can. Love what you're doing. Thank you, Nadeem. JC, hi, Craig and Chris. Watched you Silent Watcher for a while. You Silent Watchers, man. You need to speak more.
Please.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Fast question. From your experience, what's the maximum number of outbound links on a PBN homepage before link power drops? I keep it 5 to 7 max. What are you doing with your homepages, Chris?
I mean, generally, it's really only going to 2 different pages, but on the same site, if we're utilizing it for an increase in rank. But if we're building them, it's for a particular purpose. It's only for one site. So we're not selling links on them. It's one link to 2 different pages. So that's what we do.
What is the best way to beta test your SaaS? Get people on there to test the crap out of it. I'm not sure exactly what you do, but get people to overlook it. Like, for example, Chris was rolling out a course and he said to me, can you have a look at my course? And I know it's not SaaS, but can you have a look at my course and let me know what you think? Get feedback on it, and I can say it's shite, you should have done this, add that, whatever. It wasn't, and he didn't really have to do anything, but get people to test it. Give it away for free to 10 people, 100 people, whatever. That's what everyone else is doing. So get feedback from people that you like and trust, and see what happens there.
Or I like the beta too, like a beta, like you release, like giving them a sample. Here, you can use it for a cut price, but really you're just trying to intake feedback so you can sell it. That's another thing I like to do.
Yeah, so try that as well, Nadeem. Hopefully that helps. Photos land. Can you tell me the quick strategy to rank any blog? Nah, we can't answer that. That's just a wide open question. Ask us something specific. Get into how to rank a blog post and all of that stuff.
That's
a long-winded answer.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah, a whole episode in one there. So thanks, but no thanks at this present time. It's a quick Q&A and we don't want to get bogged down with that. But there's plenty of articles out there that will help you with that. Chuck Finley. So can you tell us quickly, for a beginner, how to set up an iframe?
Yep. Go to Google, type in copy paste iframe embed code. I think W3 or any of those sites, it'll give it to you. There it is. Now you have an iframe code. Then all you have to do is swap out the HTTPS. Now you're framing whatever you put in there. Very, 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 very simple. Very simple.
Good man. Hayden Cock, have you guys tried building a Web 2.0 page, i.e. Tumblr, then connecting a custom domain after it's grown in authority? Sneaky way to build a PBN.
I've done it with Weebly. You know,
why not, Hayden? An asset's an asset, a domain's a domain. And yeah, you know, why not? If it works and it's got power and it gets traffic, do it.
That's right.
Not something I've personally tried, but yeah, why not? Should be checking the dates more often before following. Do you use a plugin schema, or do you always handwrite your schema? By the way, guys, we should be checking the dates more often before following. We're on every Wednesday just to cover that off, Kazi, at the same time every week. Yep. Personally, I think there's a lot of plugins out there for schema. I don't think you're going to get better than adding it manually. Plugins like WordLift and the schema app and all of that kind of stuff, there's tons of them out there. But for me, sometimes there's little flaws. So manually doing it, which is a pain in the backside, is the best way. Chris, what do you think?
I do it. I mean, other than like breadcrumbs and like the OG, and whatever comes in all in one, like those simple things. But the other types of schema, I just do it by hand. It's it's so easy. Find who has it, ranking, and take theirs, and then switch it around. It's super easy. I just made a video on it. So easy. Why let them do the work and then just copy paste. Here you go.
Probably a good idea, Kazi, would be to jump over to Chris's channel. Just search on YouTube for Chris Palmer SEO and watch that video. You won't go far wrong with a demo from Chris on that. So have a look at that.
Thanks.
Jumping animals. I use static pages on my website. Does anybody still use posts in WordPress to generate traffic or target long tail? Any tips or secret sauces to this?
I think it's really irrelevant, the page post. Generally, I mean, your power page is first. That's a page. And if you want to think of it this way, your power page is first. So that's a page in WordPress. And then any of the supporting content, supporting ideas, supporting secondary keywords are posts then, right? That's it. I mean, it's as easy as that. But you could just do page and then set up the URL structure. But there's no real magic to it. It doesn't matter. You could do it either way. But that's how I look at it. Your top keyword is your page, and then your posts are your supporting articles. That's it. That's
the way I do it. Posts are supporting articles. Simple as that. And I still use it every day. So
always easy. The fundamentals, 90% of it is cut and dry. You know, we're all doing the same stuff. It's 90% of it. It's all the little trickeries. You know, that's the last 10. That's the fun stuff. That's what we make about, you know. It's not all about that.
Don't overcomplicate it in your head. I think that's something that other people do. CBD cakes, good to see you. Still waiting on one of those cakes, man. You need to send us one. He's saying AMP mobile is half his traffic. Stick with it or dump it. Don't dump half the traffic.
Yeah.
That fucker. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. You know, I think the difference, just so that if anyone out there is listening, AMP, you know, if you're starting out, you know, a responsive website, which most websites are now, is more than enough to rank well. You know, it doesn't need that AMP stuff. If you do have AMP on your website and it's something you implemented and it's working for you, don't change that shit up, because taking that away is you could potentially harm that traffic, and grab any traffic you can. It's just something I wouldn't advise anyone to, if they're starting out or got a new website. Would I be implementing AMP? Absolutely not a chance in hell. But if it's already there and I inherited that website, I wouldn't be touching it. I would just leave it as it is. So stick with it, buddy. JC, to clarify my above question, I keep to 5 to 7 maximum outbound, including 1 to 3 authority links. Sites themselves are ranking, getting traffic to. Would 5 to 7 number of outbound links be considered maximized? I mean,
I don't think it's a set number.
No set number. Let's just put it this way. The more you link out to, the less value your links are passing. That power is being distributed to 5 websites. If you distribute it to 10, you might get a little bit less juice, but it's not something that's going to have a huge impact. A massive impact as such, unless you're, linking out to 100 websites or whatever. But whether it's 5, whether you squeezed in 9, I don't think there's a huge difference there. But when you start going over that, then it's going to become, what I would call maximized. So that's my opinion. But Chris, you're not. What would be the maximum? You're not going to do like 100, are you?
No, definitely not. Generally, again, I mean, if we're building a PBN, just building out another website just for links, we're building exactly how it was, and we're only linking to 1 or 2 pages. Not one or 2, always 2 pages.
Yeah,
we're simply utilizing it for links, and then after that, if we are getting a website that's at least relatively close to the niche, then we'll send traffic through there, as a referral. Because that's what we do. So.
Yes, guys, we are got a couple of minutes left. I just want to, before anyone starts diving off, right after this show, we are going straight over to Chris's YouTube channel, and we are going to be roasting a website that he bought as an affiliate website. So if you want to hear more from us, we are right over on Chris's channel. Right after this, just go to Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. We'll be on there directly after that, just before in case anyone drops off. But we will try and get another couple of questions answered. We've got a couple of minutes left. And we had one here from Coed Showers. What about saved bookmarking Google GMB locations with dummy profiles and stuffing that title and note section with keywords? Google loves Google, right? So you ever do anything like that, Chris?
Google loves Google without any shadow of a doubt. But I mean, as far as bookmarking Google GMB locations with dummy profiles, I don't ever like go out of my way to do anything like that. No.
Nah, never known anyone to do that, but could be worth a try. That doesn't mean it's not going to work. Guys, make sure you do give the video a like. There's a lot of people watching and there's not a lot of likes. So as he says, it costs nothing to be nice. Give us some likes. Kim Robinson is laughing. I can't remember what you're laughing at again, Kim, but yeah. Yaniv, if Kyle Roof ranked with lorem ipsum, why is spun content frowned upon? Who said it's frowned upon? That is what I would ask. People are using spun content. It's how you spin it. There's a crap way that's frowned upon, and there's other ways. And spun content can work very well. Even 19% duplicate content can rank really well in low competition niches. So as Kyle done with the lorem ipsum, there are certain, things that we can grab from Google and understand that they're not that clever or not as advanced as they may allow us to believe. But that's my opinion on it.
With spun, Drive stacks, Google stacks, any of that stuff, that's spun, That's the only public I have.
So what's an alternative to verifying GMB other than the postcard? If you can trigger phone verification, if you've got a lot of citations already, Sometimes you can trigger phone verification, but there's a process to that, and trying to trigger it is never going to be 100%. But other than that, Postcard, there's no sneaky, cool little tricks. Or Chris,
I love you. Oh no, there's none. No, absolutely not. No sneaky tricks at all. Never. No way. That's a whole nother webinar. That's a whole nother day. Okay, see you guys later.
In all seriousness, Craig, the reason I'm saying that is not to be a thingy, but there's a whole different conversation around the flaws within GMB, and we can maybe do one. We can maybe talk about that next week, Chris, in a bit of detail. If you want to, we can talk about some of that stuff. The problem we've got with talking about that stuff is everyone else will jump on it and start blowing it up and breaking it, and that's the problem. So there are a lot of flaws on there, but ones that if I put out in a video, yeah, do this, do that, I'm going to have people coming at me saying, Craig, what a fucking asshole you are, telling people this, that, and the next thing. That's how we make money. That's how we're creating our businesses. And for that reason, sadly, I don't want to answer that one. So,
yeah, that's right.
And as I say, I can give you some of those, but we can talk about some of the ones or some of the flaws that we've had in the past, Chris. And I think for me, Craig, probing and trying some stuff out, you'll be surprised what works on there. But
I will say, yeah, I mean, it out of the United States, some of those older tactics that you'll see, like I've made videos on tactics that I've been using for years that work great in Canada and other places. But as far as the US, like things have just changed dramatically, and you have to be creative would be the word for things that are working now, or things that are working now can really land you in a lot of hot water. So you have to be very careful what you're doing. So that's either creative or just you shouldn't be doing it, So that's all I can say about that.
But yes, last one, G-Man, we have another show today. So guys, get over to Chrissy's. Give me a second, actually. I'm just going to put the link in the live chat.
I'm creating the thing right now through stream. So I was hoping to share it with everybody, but it you know how that is.
I will give you the channel, guys, in the live chat. We're going to nip over to Chris's channel now and do what we said we were going to do and roast his website. So I put that in the live chat there. But if you can't see it in the live chat, which you should be able to, jump over and check us out now on Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. We're going to be roasting that website. So jump over there, guys, and we will speak to you then. So thank you, everyone, for attending today, by the way. Appreciate all the questions and everything else.
Thank you.
We'll catch you over there just now. Cheers.
See ya. See you soon.